Welcome back to Chapter 5 of The Unwritten Life, the story of Claire. This is where we're taking the major arcanas and learning them in a story form through the life of Claire. So let's pick up Chapter 5, The Lover's Whisper. The city hummed with a different tune now, a softer melody that occasionally swelled with moments of unexpected beauty. Claire felt in the scent of Isabella's blooming window box, in the quiet wisdom of Mary's bookstore, and increasingly in the changed air whenever Leo was near. The fear that had once been a constant companion has now left, replaced by a blooming sense of hope and something else, a delicate, unfamiliar flutter in her chest, a tremor of anticipation that felt both thrilling and terrifying. Leo had become a much more frequent presence in their little building's ecosystem. He often joined Isabella for tea amongst her sanctuary, sometimes to discuss a custom piece for a client, sometimes just to watch the way the light fell through the leaves. Claire found herself drawn to these quiet gatherings, observing the easy conversation between the pragmatic magician and the nurturing empress. But it was the moments when Leo's gaze would drift to hers, even for a fleeting second, that truly stirred something within Claire. Quick warmth would spread through her, chasing away the last images of self-imposed chill. Their conversations, though often brief and about practical things, held an undercurrent, a shared understanding that deepened with each exchange. Well, one evening, Claire was sketching in her apartment, trying to capture the intricate patterns of a leaf that Isabella had given her. It was late, the city's hum a distant lullaby, when she heard the distinct tap, tap, tap of wood being shaped from Leo's apartment directly above. A soft jazz tune drifted down, weaving itself into the night, pulling at something deep inside of Claire. Curiosity, or perhaps something more profound, pulled her upstairs. Leo's door was ajar, a sliver of warm golden light spilling into the hallway. Inside, Leo was bent over a workbench. Fine layers of sawdust dusted his dark hair. He was carving something small and delicate. The lamp cast long shadows, accentuating the strong lines of his shoulders, the intense focus in his eyes. He didn't look up immediately, lost in the quiet concentration of his creation, the jazz notes swirling around him like a secret confession only he and the wood could hear. Claire watched, mesmerized by the quiet power in his hands. He wasn't just fixing things, he was coaxing beauty from raw material, bringing something intricate and alive into being. It was the same intensity she'd seen when he faced that burst pipe, but softened, channeled into something tender. The way his brow furrowed slightly, the gentle pressure of his thumb against the wood, it drew her in, an almost magnetic pull towards his quiet passion. When he finally did look up, His gaze met hers across the wood bench, and for a long moment, the bustling city, the tiny apartments, even their own separate lives seemed to fade away. His eyes, usually so intent with purpose, held a warmth she hadn't seen before, a quiet acknowledgement that was more potent than any spoken word. He didn't speak, just held her gaze, and in that shared silence, something vital shifted between them. It was a recognition, a deep, magnetic pull, like two separate melodies finding a perfect, unexpected harmony that resonated deep within Claire's core. A slow, tentative smile touched his lips, transforming his usually serious face into something unexpectedly gentle. "It's a gift for Isabella," he said, his voice a low rumbling, gesturing to the carving. "It's for her new rose bush, something for it to climb on." He paused, his eyes still holding hers. Question, a warmth she couldn't quite decipher, burning in their depths. "You look peaceful, Claire. You look like you're starting to grow too." Wow. Claire felt a blush creep up on her neck. Delicious heat that had nothing to do with the warmth of the room. It wasn't just his words, but the way he said them, with an intimacy that felt both startling and strangely comforting. He wasn't just observing her, he was seeing her, truly seeing the delicate newness of her, the quiet rebuilding she was doing. And more than that, she realized she was seeing him beyond that crafted exterior to the precise, passionate soul beneath, a soul that felt strangely, wonderfully familiar. He gestured to a small stool opposite his workbench, the same one that he mentioned to her before, but this time the invitation felt different, weighted with unspoken possibility. "Want to listen to some more jazz?" he asked. A knowing twinkled in his eye, referencing the poet she had bought from Mary. The casual invitation, the shared quiet of his space, the soft jazz, the scent of wood, and something uniquely Leo, it all wrapped around Claire, pulling her closer, a silent promise of something more. She felt a lightness, a joyous lifting that she hadn't known was even possible. Dance beginning in the space between them. In that moment, sitting on that small stool, bathed in the soft glow of his workshop, surrounded by the scent of wood and the quiet hum of creation, Claire understood. This wasn't just about meeting people who embodied the tarot. This was about finding connections that mirrored her internal journey, about stepping out of the shadows into the light that felt warm and inviting, a light that felt like Leo. He was becoming her lovers, not just a spark of attraction, but the profound discovery of a deep, resonated connection, shared frequency that promised something beautiful and utterly new. The city symphony played on, and she realized she was no longer just an audience member, but a participant, dancing to a new and thrilling beat, a rhythm Only she and Leo could hear a quiet whisper between their hearts. Well, we shall pick it up in chapter 6, and let's see where this goes. It's getting exciting, it's getting romantic, and I feel like Claire deserves this. So, I just want to remind you that you really should start at the beginning, and I have it under a playlist so that you can really understand the story. But anyways, Claire, her new life in New York City, Leo, Mary, Isabella, all important characters in her life and what's to be. So we'll pick that up next time. And thank you guys. Bye bye.